Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here to do a spring book haul. Give you guys some background. These past couple months I was going to try to be on a book buying ban. I know I said this back in February when I was going to go on one, but I ended up buying way too many books than what I should have. I have literally no room on my bookshelves for any more books, and yet I keep buying them. I have 14 books to show you, and the majority of them I actually bought myself. I got some from subscription boxes, but yeah, like 95% of these are ones that I bought when I probably shouldn't have. So without me rambling on any further, let's jump right in and get started. So the first book that I bought this month is Blood Orange. This is by Harriet Tice. This actually came as a recommendation from my friend Jen over at Jen Talks Audiobooks, who I'll link down below. She has a really awesome booktube channel. If you guys like audiobooks, so check out her channel. But she had this on her TBR for the Chick Litathon, which is a month-long readathon dedicated to reading chick lit contemporary romance books, and this is actually a thriller, and I don't know anything about it, but she said I would enjoy it. I think it has to do with serial killers, which I actually really enjoy reading about, but I don't know, that's literally all I know about it. I really like the tagline. It says, "I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I just can't stop." So that's what makes me think it's about serial killers, but I'll have to wait and see. I also really enjoyed this cover, so yeah, I'm intrigued. So the next 3 books that I have to haul this month are all books that I had actually met all the authors earlier in May, and I have a vlog dedicated to that, so I'll go ahead and link it in the cards. But this was for the Nexus book signing. I met Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings in Boston, and there was 2 other moderators there that are also authors, so I bought their books as well. But starting off with the main book, which is Nexus, again by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. They are both fellow booktubers. I'll also go ahead and link them down below. I have been following Sasha since I discovered BookTube. I love her channel, and this is the second book in this duology. The first book is Zenith. I read that in 2017. I had an art copy of it that came out last January. I have the very unpopular opinion here when I say I love that book. I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite books of 2017. I know, very unpopular there. But this is YA science fiction following our main character, Andy, who basically is a space pirate. She's kind of similar to Selena Sardathian from Throne of Glass, and she has an all-female space pirate crew with her, and they are traveling the galaxy, and then she has to team up with her ex on an important mission. And yeah, it's interesting. I know it's not for everybody, and again, I have the very unpopular opinion here when I say I really liked the first book, but I was intrigued enough to continue on with the duology, and I loved meeting Sasha and Lindsay. They were very, very sweet, and I did get this book signed. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Hopefully you can see it all okay. It says, "To Jackie, fly true, Sasha and Lindsay." And again, I really enjoyed meeting them, and I cannot wait to see what else this book has in store. And getting to the other 2 books that I got at that event. The first one is Emerge by Toby Easton. She was one of the moderators for this event, and she also signed this copy, and it says, "To Jackie, believe in your magic." Toby Easton. She was also very, very sweet. This one is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, which is my favorite Disney movie, so that already intrigues me enough. And that's basically all I know, and I cannot wait to read it. The book by an author that I met this month was Whispers of the Fallen by J.D. Netto. J.D. Netto, I think, is actually a local author. I think he lives in Massachusetts. I could be wrong on that though. This one is urban fantasy, and it follows fallen angels and the child, or something along the lines of dealing with Lucifer, which sounds really interesting. He was also very interesting to me when I met him in Boston. Also, again, very down to earth, and definitely had similar personality traits to me, which I really liked, and I'm really excited to read this. The next one I picked up is Star Wars Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. So I saw Kristen over at Super Space Chick do a video on Star Wars Day, which is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. You guys get it if you're a Star Wars fan. And she did a video talking about reading the Star Wars books in canon order. So this one is the first in canon as far as the books, and it takes place before The Phantom Menace, the first movie in the saga as a whole, and it follows Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and their early adventures again before the first movie takes place. And I am a huge Star Wars fan, as many of you know, and when I saw that video come out on May 4th, I was like, that has always intrigued me. I have always wanted to read, you know, some stuff in the expanded universe after the original films came out, and especially now that the Skywalker saga is finally wrapping up with episode 9 coming out in December. It's intriguing me more, so this is the first one I have to read in canon. And yeah, I cannot wait to read more Star Wars books. The next book I picked up is It Gets Worse by Shane Dawson. This is his second short story collection. I read his first book, I Hate My Selfie, earlier this year. It was actually the first book I read in 2019. I really enjoyed it. If you guys don't know who Shane Dawson is, he is a YouTuber. He kind of blew up last year when he did his documentary series on Jake Paul. And again, his channel will be linked down below as well. I have been a fan of his for about 5 years now. I love Shane Dawson, and again, I really liked his first short story collection. I don't typically read nonfiction, but I don't know, ever since the end of last year, since the documentary series on Jake Paul came out, I wanted to read more stuff by him, so I cannot wait to read this second short story collection. Up Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I finally got myself a physical copy of this book. I have picked this book up from my local library about 4 or 5 times since it came out. It has always intrigued me. I think I'm going to love this book when I do eventually get around to reading it, which I plan on doing next month in June. But I don't know, I've never had the time to read it. I don't know if it's because I am in a reading slump, but I figured it's about time I got myself a physical copy, so I did just that. This is an adult fantasy series that follows a girl named Mia who is going to assassin school, and that's all I know. This is the first book in a trilogy. The third and final book comes out later this year. I think it comes out in September or October. And I've heard literally nothing but fantastic things about this. Every one of my friends who has read it has loved it. So yeah, that makes me even more excited. And again, Assassins, that's right up my alley. I have Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I cannot remember if I hauled this yet. I don't think I have. I think I got it right after I filmed my last book haul. So this one is the second published work by Stephen King. I was attempting to read his books in chronological order, but that just ended up not happening. So this one is an adult horror novel following vampires, I believe. If you guys don't know, if you're new to my channel, I love Stephen King. I've been reading his books for just over a year now. I have a goal this year to read half of his work, which probably won't happen, but I will talk more about that in a future video because I have something special planned coming up in September for it. But this one I've heard, again, really fantastic things about, and I don't read horror. The only other horror book I've read is Misery by Stephen King. That's my favorite book of his so far. So we'll have to wait and see how I think about this one. The movie adaptation is also supposed to be really good, so I have my hopes up. The last book I bought myself this month is one I'm actually currently reading, and that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a standalone epic fantasy novel following 4 queendoms, and there's dragons, and that's literally all I can tell you guys. I'm not very far in. I'm on page 52 out of like almost 800 pages in this book. So I have a while to go. This was also the chapter by chapter book club book of the month for the month of May. The link to the Goodreads group is also down below for you guys if you would like to come and join us for next month. But I, again, am not very far in. I ended up putting this on hold earlier this month. I think I just lost track of time. So I might have to restart it from the beginning, but I was liking what I read, so I hope to continue to love it. Now moving on from the books that I bought this month to the books I got in subscription boxes, I will go ahead and talk about my Owl Crate books first of the past 2 months. The first one of those is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. This is the pick for April. This one is one that I've heard pretty mixed things about. This is a YA fantasy novel that follows all I really know, a girl who can talk to the gods, and there's like warring kingdoms that are like warring about religion, and that's about it. This is the Owl Crate exclusive cover, which I absolutely love. The spine is also very pretty, so I, again, haven't heard the best things about it, but I am still intrigued. That I got in my May owl crate is We Hunt the Flame, and I'm going to butcher this author's name, but it's by Hafsa Fazal. Again, I'm so sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. This one is another YA fantasy novel that follows Arabian culture, and that's literally all I know. Again, I don't know much else about it. It has, again, a really pretty cover. Again, Owl Crate exclusive, but really gorgeous. And I haven't heard too much about this either, so we'll have to wait and see what I think about it. The last 4 books are all from Book of the Month, so I have 2 picks from both April and May. The first one of those is a backlist title from April, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is one that I have, again, heard fantastic things about. It's been out for quite a while now. I think it was out when I started book 2, so over 3 years now. And this is science fiction about a guy who is like living an ordinary life, nothing too special about it, and then he has an accident and he wakes up in an alternate reality where everything is not as it seems. And that's all I know. And again, I've heard really great things about this. It definitely sounds like something I will like, so I'm excited to check this one out. The other book I picked up in April is Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This is a thriller, and that's all I know. I think the main character is Asian American, but I'm probably completely wrong. Again, really nice cover. That's all that I know. Again, pretty cover, Asian American main character. That's it. The last 2 books in this month's book haul are the books I got from Book of the Month for May. The first one of those is The Bride Test by Helen Wong. This is the companion novel to The Kiss Quotient, which I read last month in April, and I loved. It is my favorite book of 2019 so far. This is a adult contemporary romance following, well, the first book followed our main character Stella, who was on the autism spectrum, and basically she's always had problems in the bedroom, and she hires a male escort to teach her the ways of having sex and relationships in general, and it takes off from there. This one follows the character of Kai, who again is on the spectrum as well, and his mother is pressuring him to get married, much like Stella in the first novel. And basically, his mother goes off to Vietnam to find him a bride and brings her back to the U.S. We also follow the main perspective of the girl who the mother brings back from Vietnam to the U.S. for her son, so that's interesting. Again, I love the first book. I highly recommend it, and I can't wait to dive into the second. Book for this month's book haul is Cersei by Madeline Miller. This one is another backlist title. This came out last year. The author is also the person who wrote the Song of Achilles, which came out a few years ago. Everybody has been raving about that novel, and I have yet to pick it up, but both of these novels follow Greek mythology, which is something I love. And this is primarily following the story of Cersei, who is one of the daughters of the Titans, and she has been basically isolated from the rest of her family, I guess, and it follows her journey. This is also nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards, which I am participating, like, kind of as a side project, not like fully participating in, but I'm kind of reading the books here and there. So again, I've heard fantastic things about this. This is also the Book of Month Book of the Year for 2018, which says a lot, so I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. Everything would have for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what books you picked up these past couple months, as I would love to know. And as always, I will link all my social media links linked down below for you guys to go check out if you'd like to follow me on any of those. All means that I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!